plant driving by our house and blowing their horn.
They're doing Justice Center for.
There's 80 some trains that go
How they're
through
doing
there.
it. I love to see how
And
things are going.
if you live close to the tracks,
What do you want to retire and become?
so
I think I'm gonna become a commissioner, then I don't have to do any.
Good to go, Miss C. I'd like to call the Tuesday, April 26th meeting of the St. Joseph County Board of Commissioners to order. Please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will note that Commissioner Dieter is unable to attend today, but Commissioner Fleming and I are in the room. First item on the agenda, opening reading of bids. There are none. Moving on to reports and requests. First is the accounts payable docket. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second?
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Castelli, how do you vote?
Aye. Next, we have approval of partnership agreement to go with the application for continuation of grant for the Family Justice Center of St. Joseph County.
Good morning. I'm Amy Stewart Brown, the Executive Director of the Family Justice Center of St. Joseph County. And I am here with you this morning to present to you the partnership agreement that is required for our application to the Office on Violence Against Women's 2022 solicitation for the Improving Criminal Justice Response to Domestic Violence, Dating Violence, Sexual Assault, and Stalking Grant Program. As a victim service provider, we are required to partner with a unit of government on this application. As you heard from the title, the goal of this application of this grant project is to improve criminal justice response, which means hold batters and offenders accountable for these crimes. And we as a victim service provider can provide the advocacy, the support services, the outreach. However, it is you as the county, as a unit of government, that can confirm to the funding source that we are in fact in St. Joseph County where we have laws and regulations that support these efforts. This is a continuation grant. We as the Family Justice Center have been recipients or subawardees of these grants since 2008. We received $500,000 in 2019, and we are again requesting $500,000.
Awesome. Any questions or comments?
I just have a comment to thank you so much for all that you're doing. I appreciate it. Thank you for helping everybody.
Yeah, it's our honor to provide these services, especially after COVID. We've seen over a 20% increase in the demand for our services since COVID.
If there are no more questions or comments, is there a motion?
A motion to approve this continuation of the grant for the Family Justice Center of St. Joseph County.
Second?
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Castelli, how do you vote?
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Next, infrastructure planning and growth, approval of PE consulting contract for DES 210024 Douglas Road and Bittersweet Road Roundabout. Mr. Sky.
Hi there, Sky Metters, Department of Infrastructure Planning and Growth. Office is on the 4th and, oh, sorry, that's a while ago, 4th floor. 7th and 11th floor of the county city building. What this is the agreement between the Lockmuller Group and the county to perform the professional engineering services for the Douglas and Bittersweet Road roundabout. NDOT has already approved this, and they're fine with everything. And the amount that you see on your page there will be an 80-20 split between federal funds and local funding. We've reviewed this and request your approval.
Thank you, Sky. Any questions or comments? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the services agreement with Lockmuller Group.
Second?
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Castelli, how do you vote?
Aye. Motion passes. Next, approval of RW Consulting contract for description number 1900448 Cleveland Road and Beach Road Roundabout.
What this is the right-of-way services agreement between Lockmuller Group and the county for the right-of-way services for the Cleveland Beach Roundabout that has been under design for the past couple years. NDOT has approved this. This is also an 80-20 split between federal funds and local funding. We have reviewed this and request your approval.
Any questions or comments? Is there a motion?
A motion to approve this right-of-way services with Lockmuller Group.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Castelny, how do you vote?
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Sky.
Thank you. Have a good day.
2.
Moving on to old business, there is none. Public comments. Are there any public comments?
Do the room first, 3 minutes, please.
All right. Where do you want me to stand? Anywhere? I guess right here.
Right
Okay.
there's
Anywhere you like.
So I'm here to,
You are who?
I'm sorry, Dan Carter. I live 25285 Edison Road, South Bend, Indiana, close to Leidick, Indiana. But I'm here to complain about the train whistles in the Leidick area. Saturday was a perfect day to have your windows open, and here comes these trains blowing their whistles and everything. So I would like for the county to implement a quiet zone in the Leidick area. And this would include Pine Road, Country Club Road, Quince Road, and Pear Road. At the same time, with the quiet zone, I'd like to have more safer railroad crossings also. Quad gates really are required at Pine Road and Quince Road because you have 2 different styles of trains going through the area. You have freight trains that stage themselves before they get to these crossings, and then you have a high-speed train coming from the opposite direction that could potentially cause an accident with people going around the existing gates that are there right now. So it's a win-win situation. If you improve the railroad crossings with quad gates at Pine Road and Quince Road, that would qualify all 4 roads to be a quiet zone. It seems to work fine in South Bend, Mishawaka. I think it could work well out there in the country. The problem is that trains are elevated, the whistles are elevated, and it carries so much further out in the country than it does in the city. The little leaguers would benefit from it. I would like to invite the commissioners to come out opening day, September 30th, this Saturday at 9 o'clock. They have opening day there, and just listen to these trains go by while these little leaguers are playing ball. They're holding their ears, trying to play ball. It's ridiculous. So if there's a quiet zone that would prevent that, Reigns of Life would benefit from it. The daycare in Leidick there would benefit from it. The whole community would benefit from it. The quality of life would go up. You'd have better sleeping habits at night. The property values would go up, and if anything, it may bring more development out in that area with housing and that type of thing. So if the commissioners would take this under consideration and implement this, I know the county has to initiate this with the FRA through the quiet zone calculator kind of thing. Individuals can't do it. It's got to be somebody within the county that implements this. So if you could take that into consideration, it would greatly be appreciated. I do have a
3 minutes
petition.
are up. Thank you so much.
Okay. I do have a petition for about 100 people that
Okay.
would like this to happen also. So,
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan.
Deborah Durrell, 21677 Autumn Road, South Bend. Last time we were here, you expressed a very nice appreciation for what I was bringing to some of the county meetings. And I did an inadequate job of thanking you. I was unprepared and explaining how this came about. And I think we've been through a number of difficult years and we're not completely through them yet. And so I wanted to express thank you to you all again, in addition to 2 friends that have helped me stay strong and positive through some of these things, and that is Rebecca Reinbold and Charlotte Wolf. and I think you met Charlotte Wolf the last time we were here. And the other aspect of that is that I think with COVID exacerbating the other complexities of our lives, and I think as county policymakers, you have a lot of nuts and bolts that you're dealing with. And that's pretty physically and mentally exhausting in itself. And as we're going forward into increasingly complex times, I think it's pretty difficult to come up with truly creative solutions. And so I think leadership at this point in time needs to reach out further than it has been doing typically as a way of coming out of COVID and moving forward into some more productive solutions. There is a lot of creative energy, learning, and solutions that are happening in our institutions, and I've brought this up before. Even beyond the sustainability offices there, the students that are coming out of those programs know more than any of us know about how to approach some of these problems. And I was watching the St. Joseph River film at St. Mary's a few nights ago, and Jen Tank and Matt Mearsman were there at a panel talking to the students, and the discourse between them was very inspiring. The level of knowledge that these students have is impressive. And I think it would be nice to have Jen Tank and Matt Mearsman bring some of that dialogue to these offices, because there are things they are discussing that we never hear here, that I had never heard before, and I bet that you have rarely heard, if ever. So it will take you reaching out and creating that bridge to them, because it's risky for people with politics to step out and come get involved in politics. But I think they would respond if you reached out and asked to hear about their work.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you. Any other public comments in the room?
Dan Caruso, 305 Compton Street, New Carlisle. I am at the other end of the, you just heard from the very nice and cooperative and sit down and let's talk about this stuff. I tend to be more on the confrontational side, but something I overlooked in my comments last week after Deborah got her plaque. I do appreciate the commissioners and everybody here who give so much of their time to make this a better area. And I just wanted to let you know that I do recognize the sacrifices you all are making and appreciate it very much. That being said, the buying of Twitter, launching people into space, all this extra money they're showing, the few 20 or so people up at this end are getting higher up and the rest of us are getting farther down. That gap is growing. And this brings me to what my kind of confrontational point is this week. Anybody who may be interested in settling or establishing a business over in what is known as the IEC, including Project Honeysuckle, the solar farm project, understand that labor here recognizes those expanding differences between high and low end on the labor scale. That is why we are pushing for a living wage, a negotiated wage with benefits, wages, hours, and conditions of employment. We're going to sit, anybody who brings a business in there, in the IEC, including Project Honeysuckle, from the construction to people working inside an established building, we're expecting a negotiated, mutually negotiated living wage with benefits package, and everybody can live off of that. This is what we're after. It's no longer appropriate to bring in 90-day employees and discharge them and bring in another 90-day employee in their place, saying that they're not satisfactory. It's time to pay people what they need to survive. with my friend here, saying possibly some housing coming over into the Leidig area. We're concerned about the urban sprawl coming too far over our way. But if it's going to be these paying people these living wages that we seek, the urban sprawl will be a welcome development. And the property value increase in the area would be welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Anyone else in the room? About our friends on Zoom? Any public comments? Hearing and seeing none, a motion to recess is in order.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Castelny, how do you vote?
Aye. We are recessed.